Hey guys, welcome to my week 1 recap. If you guys are here and just curious about how much I gained the first week, you can see right here, I went from $10,000-ish to around $13,969. So it was a pretty fire week. Now I did film day to day, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday about what the trades I did and why I did them. If you're interested in that, then keep watching the video. What's up guys? It is October 14th. It is Wednesday, 12 o'clock. I just filled my position in the condor at 50 cents and I made sure to have a wider angle, but well, you can see I'm up 110 already. Shopify is another story. It's a reverse iron condor, but basically SPX is currently sitting at 34.95. Now the reason I executed the trade when it was around 34.90 and I wanted to make sure I had at least like a 15 or 20-ish range, give or take 15 or 90 plus or minus that area. So my lower strike ended up being 34.75 and then my higher is 35. Anywhere if SPX lands in that area, I make money. But today is actually pretty scary in that there is a vice president chair talking, vice president federal chair talking, and who knows what he might say to stir the market up. But I guess we'll see. 12:58 p.m. this time. I showed you guys what I did earlier, and right now I'm up $1,100 on that exact trade. So I'm gonna show you what happened in between the time that I skipped. I opened like around here. It was like around 90, and what actually happened is it went up, went down again, and it actually started getting a little scary. My iron condor is at 35.10, the long strike, and it actually hit 3,500. I was getting a little nervous, but I saw the RSI MACD was really high. I'm just kind of praying, but you never know what can happen, right? It's just technical indicators, but I was willing to take the odds. I had my alert set to 35.05, so if it ever happened at 35.05, that's either the time where you get out or you'd hold on for dear life. And luckily for me, the stock market went all the way down into my range again, about where I opened the trade. And as you recall, iron condors, if it barely moves from when you opened it, then you were going to make a lot of profit. So 12:59, let's just see what happens to my trade as it hits 1 o'clock. So right now 1,100. We're gonna wait a minute. All right, well, so that's the bell, and right now we had just earned $1,100 on the trade. I do need to do something about the Shopify trade, but I think I'm gonna write it out as it has a Thursday and Friday to hit the outside of my reverse iron condor range. So I will revise what happens with shop. I'll keep you guys updated at the end of the week of what I do and what happens to this Shopify trade. But today, I'm thankful that today was a successful SPX day, gained $1,000. Today is October 15th. It's 11 p.m., but I just wanted to go over what I did today. So around today, SPY kind of dipped to 340-ish, and all the stocks consequently were at a discount. So I decided to add some of my favorite stocks, as I think that they will bounce back within a week. So I opened a bunch of credit spreads. So I opened some spreads on Snap, Roku, Shopify, and SE. And the reason I did, because I really actually do believe in these companies and that they will bounce back within a week. And it just went down with no news whatsoever. So I actually am anticipating that the stock market comes back, and these are all great stocks that I would invest long term in. Of course, the main strategy is always going to be iron condors. What iron condors did I do? Thursdays are much more special in that I would much rather play a company that has an option expiring at the end of the week rather than SPX on Friday, as I think it is safer in my experiences. Now, I usually play Disney, but at the time of this, it was Disney actually not looking that great. There wasn't enough credit to be held, and the strikes were not that good for where the support and the resistances were sitting at. So I decided to go with Lulu instead. I bought 20 contracts on each, and I made a 10 out range. So you can see 340, 360, and at the time of fill, Lulu was hovering around 350 to 351. So kind of that comfortable range, 9-ish, 10-ish on each side, which was fine. And then this is around where I opened the trade at. I opened it at like 351, and like an hour and 30 minutes until market closed, there was a little bit of a rally in SPY and consequently in Lulu as well. So it actually kind of screwed my strikes a little bit. It kind of skewed them up. So I am a little exposed to the upside here, but I just hope that it does not hit 357.5 because that's what I have my alert set at. And then of course the ultimate doom zone for me, as you recall, is 360. So I have a personal threshold that if it ever hits 358 or 357.5 and it alerts me, I have to reevaluate the trade or consider selling it. But if it never hits that, then I don't ever have to worry about it. So tomorrow we will see what happens and I'll give you guys an update. My update on this Shopify reverse iron condor, the strikes going back in and it was hitting my range. And for reverse iron condors, we want the ranges to be out. So it was actually getting a little scary with 1 day left. And so what I did was I rolled over the strikes until the next expiration date, which was 7 days from now. I kept the strikes the same, but essentially I just gave myself some more time to breathe. And hopefully by next week, it will clear out these ranges. So basically, again, I need Shopify to clear over $1,100 or I need to go below 1030 in order for me to make money on my reverse iron condor. But of course, the main bread and butter of my buying power is going to iron condor. So we will see mostly how Lulu is doing by. Now, the reason why I'm up on these credit spreads for Shopify and all that is because I kind of caught them at the dip. So right when SPX was dipping a little bit, I think it was around 10 a.m. I opened these spreads and I was comfortable with holding for a week, regardless of what happened that day. So luckily for me, it actually went up that day. So I managed to get some little profit. I think max profit on all of these are gonna be around 300 or 400. So I got like maybe 1/4 or 1/5 profit for today, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. Might close the trade early, I might not. See that I'm down $340 right now, and that's because back to what I said, I had opened the trade around 350-ish, and it is testing my higher strike right now, my higher strike of 360, because it rode up to 354 and it gained 4 points before the market closed. So right now the balance of the trade is a little skewed towards the upside. Good morning. It is 7:54 a.m. on Friday, October 16th. These Lulu iron condors are just about being maximized. There's still $200-ish left that I can squeeze out if I do decide to hold these, but right now it is requiring around $8,000 to $9,000 of buying power. So it's not allowing me to do anything else. So I'm considering selling them at 80 to 90% profit. Last night when I showed you guys the trade, the P&L was actually down. The P&L is actually down 300. Lulu has dropped since that point. Show you a graph here right here. As it drops and approaches 350, which is my middle range, the P&L will continue to increase. There's nothing much else to squeeze out here, so I am going to see what I can do. Maybe I'll sell it a little early and transfer that buying power into something else to turn over the money. I'm thinking about SPX condors, perhaps day of expiration, just to see if I can squeeze out another $500 to $700. So yeah, I did it. I sold my Lulu condor and I got filled at 0.07 debit, and I had bought that for 0.56 credit. So that is around a 48 credit times 20, and the profit ended up coming to around $960. So I used that buying power that I had there, and then I went ahead and bought another SPX condor. Now I made sure to make the range around 20 wide. At the time I bought this, the SPX was trading around 3,500, and it kind of still is. You can see that here for today. It has been hovering around 3,500, 3,510-ish. So there's about an hour left until the close. Praying that this works out. My upper bound is 3,520. If it is getting a little close, so we're gonna see what happens. Again, when I was picking the strikes, I made sure to hit 3,520 because the day high already was 3,515, and that is a resistance level. And then when I was picking my short strikes, I did 34.85 because it seems like it's been hitting this 34.95 for a while. One thing that can potentially screw us right now is if there is a big economic headline, or if, you know, Trump tweets something that could change the market. Other than that, I think we should be chilling. I'll update you guys in an hour. What is up, guys? Final recap for the week. We are ending at 13,960. I did record the final minutes of the close and it did get a lot of dicey. SPY almost actually dipped down to my alert. So I have reactions that I'll put in another video if you guys are interested in that. That would just include me and my friend Kelvin freaking out about the close, about how SPOI is just moving all over the place. But I'll just leave that for another video. For now, today alone I had gained 1,488. That was because we had our Lulu condors go well, and then we hit the SPX condors later in the day around 11 a.m. That combined ended up in $1,500. Shopify reverse iron condor, this needs a little more time as I extended the date out of the reverse, and it is still stuck in that range, so we'll see what happens to that. These other ones, SPY, Snap, and all that, these are all just credit spreads and they all expire around next week. So we'll see what happens then. I just bought it on the dip because I just think the stocks are going to go back up. Yeah, overall, a really good week. Thanks for sticking by and I hope you tune in for next week as well.